Hey guys, I've had some questions with some of you, some of my newer ones, some of the other ones, some that aren't even coming to the gym at all that are out in different areas of the valley, have questions about dieting, what to do. Just want to make a quick video on some top things I want you to really think about. If you're trying to really get rid of some body fat, the first thing I can say for most of you, forget the diets, okay? The thing that I've seen over the last 30 years of training is that when you can make adjustments into your regular diet on what your meals, your portions, all of that, it's going to stay off of you. When you get on those diets, whether it's a keto, and there's a lot of benefits to some of these things. However, with most people, once they get to their weight that they want and get back to normal eating, the weight comes on. And almost always, if you lost 10, you end up gaining and end up 12 or 15. So you end up heavier than you were before you even started the whole diet plan, which is really tough on the psyche. So first thing, these are some of the basics that have helped my people for a long time. Whatever you normally do for the first 2 weeks, all I want you to do primarily is cut your portions down. And yes, even if you're going to fast food every day, you can still do that for the first 2 weeks, but I want you to go, instead of the large meal, go to the small. If you're doing the soda, make sure you're getting like a plain iced tea or water. The large portions from the fries to the small fries. And yes, this is no long term, I want you to stay there. But if we can initially take a look at our portions and get that handled, because I want you to keep in mind, our body can only handle about 300 to 500 calories, 300 to 500 each time you eat. That meal that you go out for fast food, for example, almost always is anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 calories. And for some of you, especially my ladies, that's your total intake for the day. So you can see how things get out of whack. Or if you skip breakfast, I want you to have something to eat. So first of all, let's take a look at what you normally do. Let's cut the portions down. If you're only eating once or twice a day, I want you to add another meal to that as well. So cut your portions down to the ones you're eating, and let's add an additional meal. My ideal thing that's found that people have worked is they eat 4 times a day. And that doesn't mean that sit down is a full meal. That may be a handful of nuts and a piece of fruit. Okay, but every time you eat, what I want you to think about are your portions. Everything's no bigger than the size of the palm of your hand. And that's whether it's veggies, that's whether it's your pasta, whether it's your chicken, doesn't matter. That's kind of the portion size you're looking for. And not it stacks up and still fits on there, but that's the size of it, okay? About the size of the hand, the whole deal. So portion control, next thing I want to take a look at is that you're getting 4 meals a day. You're getting a protein in every one of those meals. So every time you eat, what's the protein? Figure that out. Whether it's your eggs, whether you're going to have some chicken, fish, turkey, nuts, beans, shrimp. Find something that you can have every time you eat, figure out that protein. The rest of it's pretty easy. My ideal is you have a protein and a veggie each time you eat, 3 to 4 times a day. And you can have 1 fruit serving every day as well. Okay, I had somebody ask the other day about some of the bowls that they have that are the fruit and the granola. It's all sugar, okay? So again, cut that down to a real small serving size. That's okay to have, but where's your protein? Throw some nuts, some beans, something along with that so we can help regulate the blood sugars. So portions, 4 times a day, no more than 300 to 500 calories in each one of those meals. And sometimes your snack is only going to be 100 to 200 calories. That's fine, but you've got to have protein with that one as well. The next thing, I want you drinking water. So I want you drinking, you should be drinking about half of your body weight in ounces of water. Okay, at least a third, but I'm shooting for half. It does 2 things. One, our body works a lot better if we're hydrated. Our muscles function much better. Talk about muscle cramping going on. The muscles dehydrate. And that can be depending on what you're eating, low sodium content. And some of us that don't have the fast food and you're eating healthy, fresh stuff, you're not getting much sodium to start with because you're not doing the canned stuff. You're not doing stuff that has a shelf life of 6 months or longer. Okay, those things have high sodium. That throws your body out of whack. But if we don't have any sodium and we're worried about it so we don't add salt to anything and we're not doing things with high sodium, you can be too depleted. And without that sodium, we dehydrate faster. So I know there's a lot of things to kind of figure out. So that's why I want you to start basic and start easy. If you've got that poor diet and you're eating fast food every day, stay with it for the first week or two, but cut your portions down, okay? The other thing I want you to do, and this is uncomfortable for a lot of my ladies especially, is measure yourself. Get on the scale, see what your weight is, but don't just do your weight. Because if you're doing strength training as well, you're going to gain muscle. And that'll get you discouraged if you find out, boy, after the first couple of weeks, I'm not losing anything. Well, if you gain some muscle, you're starting to do, you're holding some water that you want to do as well, that'll throw you off and get you panicky. So do a waist measurement. I want it to do at the belly button, and I want you to do it just below, an inch below the belly button as well. So you got 2 waist measurements. The other thing I want you to do is measure your butt. So feet close together, get that tape measure, put it around, but go sideways on a mirror so you can see, okay, am I at the perkiest part of the butt? Whatever you want to think of. I just don't want the tape measure hanging below and you're off. Just center it all the way across, or have somebody else do it to see from the side. That way you also see where we typically hold that, okay? If you tend to hold it in the arms or the thighs, check that as well. But measure the distance. If you do the bicep, check that peak up there. Find out where that's at. If you don't have a peak, do the in-between from the shoulder out to the elbow, halfway. That way you get the same measurement every time. Same with your thigh. If you do that, you got the meaty part, get up high underneath where the butt comes down, hits the hamstring, right at that point. Make sure it's even. Again, so you measure the same place all the time. If you're just doing a thigh measurement and then you check it again, if it's not the same spot, you don't know if you've gotten better or not. So hope these basic things help, but please comment below. Let me know questions you have, detail. There's so much more to do, but please don't overthink it. Let's start with the basics. Initially, for the first week or two, just do your normal diet, cut your portions down. Don't get crazy and change a lot of things, because then it's harder to stick to it.